Hello nerds. Happy Hot Sauce Wednesday. So I'm supposed to brew today, but I'm gonna postpone it till tomorrow. But I did think maybe I would throw up a hot sauce video because I haven't done a hot sauce video before. Radio's loud, hold on. Pipe down, Simon. So I came across these. These are ghost peppers, and these are Carolina Reaper peppers. So I found those yesterday at Woodman's, the supermarket here, and I thought, oh shit, maybe I should do a hot sauce. So I'm growing some of these in the garden, but thus far I have like one ghost pepper and some tiny Reapers. So I'm not sure what the crop is going to be like, but these were a couple bucks for a little tray of them, so let's make some hot sauce. I also, for this one, they had some really nice looking red Serrano peppers. So we're going to go a fermented red Serrano ghost pepper sauce. So we're going to make a pepper mash. Uno momento. Okay, so red Serranos, check. I have some nice red bells because I don't want this to be like, holy shit, blow your head off hot. I like hot sauce in some sort of quantity. We have the awesome Trader Joe's carrots of many colors, Technicolor Dreamboat carrots or some bullshit. At least some of these will go in, I'm not sure how much. I really like carrots in hot sauce. It gives good body and sweetness. Garlic will go. We'll mess with salt ratios. And I'm going to ferment this all in my newly created hot sauce fermenter. This used to be like a flour container that I just drilled a hole in, put a stopper in, and then I can drop an airlock in it and lacto ferment things to my little heart's content. So that will be fun. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to wash all these peppers. Woo! Got it, don't worry. So I'm going to wash all the peppers, get them in a bowl. These are they look fairly clean, but they did come from the supermarket. So, you know, I'll wash any of the God knows what sprays and shit off them because they're not organic and they're not fancy nerd peppers. So I'll wash all this stuff and I will come back and we'll work on chopping shit up. Okay, got everything washed. Basically, all we're going to do is roughly chop this stuff, throw it in a food processor, and get it to a sort of a mash consistency. Rubber gloves are good for this. If you're doing peppers that aren't crazy hot, you can probably go without it. I wear contacts, so I have made hot sauce before without the rubber gloves, and basically melted my contacts into my face when I took them out that night. And then when I put them back in the next day, I could have, yes, used a new pair of contacts, but I didn't, which was stupid, and then basically melted them back into my eyeballs. That sucked. That was like a full half hour of blinding pain, 2 days in a row. So, and also, I mean, let's be honest, they're kind of sexy. So, what we are going to do, have everything washed, have a knife. We're just gonna roughly chop them. I should really have a Rachel Ray garbage bowl. Boom, Rachel Ray garbage bowl. So since you're gonna food processor these, it's really not like any sort of science. You can just sort of rip, you know, the bells, just rip them. The cool thing about this is you don't have to follow, like, this isn't a recipe by any means. If you want it super repeatable, you could write down weights of what you're doing. Geez, I just squirted bell pepper in my eye. Good thing that wasn't a Reaper or something. That would suck. But basically, this is all about ratios. you really, to ferment these things, all you're really looking to do is get a certain ratio of salt. Much like everything else on the freaking internet. I tried to look it up today just to, you know, every time I make stuff like this, I kind of see if there's any new information out there or whatever. And basically, you can use 2% salt, 20% salt, 16%, like, just like homebrewing, you ask one question, you get 58 different answers, and none of them are right, and all of them are right at the same time. So I'm going to go with we'll see if we go 4 or 5 percent of salt to weight of peppers. I don't think there's really a wrong way to do it. Basically what you're doing with the salt is just trying to inhibit the bad bacteria. It's no different than making beer, honestly. The stuff is all so intertwined and related, it's kind of crazy. So I'm gonna get this stuff ripped up. I wonder if I can pause the camera with this wet plastic glove. Let's see. Okay, so this is just the bell peppers, but just as kind of an idea, this is really graceful, but that's kind of what you're looking for, is like not really finely chopped. You're looking for like, what size? Kind of like grain size pieces. Is kind of perfect for this. So the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to star sand my fermenter. This is probably a very homebrewer-esque move. I don't think most hot sauce makers do this. Some people use vinegar, I know. But I have star sand, and I trust star sand, and I know star sand, so that's what we're going to do. So I also weighed, how the fuck did I go back to ounces? I weighed the fermenter, and it's 720 grams. So we're going to go with that. I'm going to dump out the blade into my hand, and then we're going to dump a bunch of juice on the counter and make a freaking mess. So that's cool. Alright, so there's our bells. So that's my bell peppers. We're probably only going to fill this thing maybe a third of the way, maybe halfway, which is interesting. I don't know, I've actually never fermented anything in this one before, so it'll be fun. Alright, I'm going to just de-stem the ghost peppers, leave seeds, everything in. I figure if I pay the money for them, I want the heat out of them. So, and I don't think, I don't know, maybe this will be blow your head off hot, who knows. Jonah did try a ghost pepper earlier, and he's been whining about it for about an hour, so that's cool. I tried a piece of one too. They're hot, not crazy hot, but I just got the very tip, so I didn't get any of the actual hot part. Alright, there. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the Serranos, just rip the stems off, and I'll get them all in the food processor. Okay, so here's your hot peppers. They're way drier than the bells were. I mean, there's really, whoo, they do not smell. You can smell them for sure. This would be a bad time for smell-o-vision, I think. But in they go. So the color is going to be pretty awesome. When I make hot sauces, I try to keep everything kind of the same color. Like, I have a really good orange hot sauce I make with orange habaneros and carrots and honey, orange bell peppers. And it's pretty sweet that it looks really good because it's so bright orange. And this one I'm going to try and keep really bright red. Fermentation does kind of dull a little bit of the color, especially in reds, I think, but we'll find out. Whew. I really should probably take a spoonful of this and eat it, but I'm a chicken shit one. And then I probably wouldn't be able to talk for the rest of the this awesome tutorial. So, so there we go. We got about, we're about a third of the way full. I'm just gonna hack up carrots, at least one whole head of garlic. I might go two, and then we'll mess with the salt. All right, that's one full head of garlic. It smells like garlic. I think I'm gonna go two. I think I'm gonna smash another head up and use two full heads. It seems to me that when you ferment garlic, it loses some of the that garlicky punch, and it doesn't come through as strong as you think it might. And it's also going to get spread out over quite a bit of real estate. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to jack around peeling another head of garlic quick. All right, garlic 2, good. Then I think we're good to go here. I'm going to hack this sticky. Another good thing about gloves, I hate smashing garlic up because it makes my hands sticky. But you don't need to listen to this. Hold on a second. Okay, carrots and garlic chopped up. That is freaking fragrant. Fragrant. Alright, so in we go with that. I'm hoping that doing a hot sauce video like this will spur my man Dan DeSlats, what up Dan, to bust out with the kombucha videos already, because I know there's a bunch of homebrewers that are getting into kombucha. It's starting to become way easier to find than it was a couple of years ago, and if there's anybody that can do it justice, it's our boy Dan. So Daniel, you're up there, homeboy. Alright, so I don't know why that thing is the perfect size to stick to the bottom of my scale. Let's get a wooden spoon. Just gonna give this a little stir up. So this is my first time really messing with a pepper mash like this. Oof. There it is. There's the ghost. Normally I chunk my peppers smaller and I ferment them in a water brine. So I'll make like a 3% or 2% salt solution and cover the peppers with this brine, then drain them, blend them, and use that brine liquid to kind of water them back to get the right consistency, along with a little bit of vinegar. This, I'm not sure I'm going to need vinegar in this. I think I will probably still use it just because like that flavor is good, especially in a sauce that is, there we go. It's gonna be just straight pepper based. I'm not gonna fruit this one. This is just gonna be a straight Serrano Ghost hot sauce. The Reapers, I think I'm going to do some kind of citrus thing with it, kind of a lime, grapefruit, honey kind of deal, and make that a fresh sauce. So I'm not going to ferment that sauce, I don't think. I think I'm going to make that just a straight blended fresh sauce, so maybe I'll do a little shorter video on that too. But alright, so this is that's your hot sauce right there, kids. Now, the trick to the salt. Listen to your kids bitch in the other room. Okay, so when I measured my fermenter before, 720 grams. Now I put it on the scale, I'm at 2,000 grams. So call it 700, so say we have 1,300 grams of peppers. I'm going to have to do some math on a calculator to figure out 4% of 1,300. Then I'm going to measure out exactly that much salt, stir it in here, and then we'll go from there. So let me math it a little bit quick. Okay, so quick math in my head, totally didn't use a calculator. We need 65 grams of salt to be a 5% salt ratio of salt. I want it to be 5%. So 65, my scale is actually at 2006 grams. So I'm gonna run this up to 2070 and we're gonna call it good. I'm using canning and pickling salt. I go. Because it dissolves way easier. So we're just gonna go with the old eyeball treatment, I think.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, bud. Do you want to be
where any water is?
in the faucet? I know that seems like a crazy place to put it, but
Actually, Dad, wait. Can I go inside this? It's empty.
yeah, just refill it. It's a water bottle. That's what it's for.
That's what I'm doing.
2 grams heavy. That's all right. Whoa. 3 grams heavy now. Okay, so salt in. And we're just gonna stir that salt in, keep it off the sides. Whew, man. This is gonna be hot. I think this is gonna be hot, Kobe. Kobe's not a fan of hot. Kind of a chicken that way. Alright, now just going to pack all this down. I may need to put a little bit of water in this just to keep, I feel like I need to keep everything kind of submerged. But these peppers, if I give them half an hour with all that salt, they're going to create enough liquid. It's a lot like making sauerkraut where you just keep smashing salt into your cabbage and pretty soon it's more liquid than it is cabbage. That's fucking salt. Holy shit. So that's salty and it's hot. Oh, that's gonna taste good though. Yeah, that's nice. It's not like blow your fucking head off hot. It's a nice burn, and fermentation will actually kick down some of the heat in the peppers too. So that, I feel like, so far it's looking like a win to me, kids. All right, I'm gonna sanitize the airlock, dump an airlock on here, and we'll come back for some. I don't know what we'll do next. We'll figure something out. Okay, so it's only been like 2 or 3 minutes. I don't know, you probably can't see it, that's hard to see. And I'm not gonna pick camera up with ghost pepper hands because then I touched it and then I touched my face and then I burned my fucking eyeballs out. So, but this is already, you can tell the liquid is really coming out of those peppers. I'm just gonna keep kind of smushing her down. Language on the music, good lord. So, what I am going to do is I'm going to put a weight on top of this just to keep I want to keep everything under the level of the liquid. The liquid will be salty enough that nothing will grow in it, but if the peppers get up above, they'll tend to maybe have a little bit of white mold maybe, or just, it's not super awesome. So I thought I had a plate that would fit in there, but it doesn't, so that sucks. But I did find a Tupperware lid. It had a little tab here, so it's easier to pull off the Tupperware, but I just cut that off, and it fits perfectly inside there. So I am going to star sand this, because I don't need to drag any shit in here other than the stuff I want in there, which is the lacto, which is naturally in the peppers. This would be a time, if you had like good sauerkraut, like fermented sauerkraut that had a little bit of the brine in here, basically like a yeast starter. You're just inoculating it with lacto. I see no reason why you couldn't drop a little bit of lacto fermented beer in here. As long as it has been pasteurized, that would also work well. I would imagine you could even inoculate this with a little bit of our good friend Goodbelly for some straight plantarum action, but I've never had trouble getting stuff to ferment just with everything natural on the peppers. So the only thing you're doing with the salt is really inhibiting the bad bacteria. Same thing with beer. Like if you make a Berliner, like a kettle sour, and you want to pre-acidify it down to 4.5, exact same thing. You're just inhibiting the bad stuff. You're giving your lacto a head start. So I'm going to drop this down in there. That fits like really tight around this mash. That's going to be interesting. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm just going to sanitize a jar of water. Just as a weight put on top. Same deal like you would do with sauerkraut. So there we go. Then I'm going to grab my my seal for this thing. This is kind of an odd seal, but I think it's gonna work. So there we go. Seal goes around like that. Lid on. Strap it up. And then airlock it. I totally missed that and shot that all over the floor. Whatever. There we go. This is going to ferment for a number of weeks. Depending on how hard it goes, you can taste this after a week. You should be able to see, movement in the airlock. You should be able to see bubbles down in the, if I pick this up so you can actually see what the fuck I'm talking about. You'll be able to see bubbles moving. It's the same as fermenting beer, honestly. It really is. So, yeah. So I'm gonna let this rock for a little while, and maybe I'll shoot another video when it's time to do something with it. So, yeah, there you go. Small hot sauce video, kids. Yeah, now I'm gonna clean up and try not to touch my face. Then I'm gonna have a beer because it's 1:03. It's way past beer time, and I got some fancy new brewing project beers that I want to try. So, anyway, Yondu nerds, fermented hot sauce. It's easy, super easy. No recipe, just whatever you find at the store. Pick up. Habaneros are so easy to come by right now. Pretty much everywhere. Whew, that swallow was hot. Habaneros are easy to find. Jalapenos, you can make a really good jalapeno, like a green verde sauce with this. I don't know, I wasn't feeling the Daft Punk for some reason. So, yeah, make hot sauce, kids. It's fun. And it's a cool addition to a beer mail. When you're sending beer to your friends, like, throw a little bottle of hot sauce in there and say, oh, hello. And then inspire them to make hot sauces. So, there you go, kids. Yondu nerds.